Hello there, guys. Well, coming to the end of 43 years. And the mental thing, 43 years. And the mental thing was just before I had made the decision to move back south, was to be ready to be with my family for my 33rd birthday. And unfortunately, on the 13th of May 2012, that was the last time I saw Aaron and Faith. And they had been sent back to the very same foster carers that the police had removed them for after evidence of potential sexual abuse. So then obviously I spent my 33rd birthday literally wanting to sink and die, knowing that I was going into a trial in a month's time with my family not stepping in. They had still not received the medical notes by this time. It had been from the 13th of December 2012, and I was holding on to contact. And actually, prior to all this, my kids were coming home. And then all of a sudden, a load of crazy things started happening at Save the Family. And I was being accused of assaulting Edna Speed, who is the owner of, at the time, of Save the Family. No police evidence of an assault on me. There was paperwork stating that I'm going to go for a walk because I'm around my neighbours. Will escape while I do this. There was paperwork submitted for a non-molestation order, which basically means I can't go into Prestatyn, where my children were at the time, with the new foster carers after they were placed. Hang on, I'm just passing Christians. There's about 8 guys that live in there. Hang on, because my wheels make a fucking noise. I forget about this at night, that my wheels make so much noise. I hate skateboarders at night time. Let me just go over here. Oh my word. I'm just going to head over to the grass area over here so I'm not as loud and in my neighbourhood, so they can't hear me talk. Trundle wheels. Sorry. The lady that lives up there, it's a shame actually, because she was working in theatre as a nurse, but she's now been put into after hours care, so she was helping me for a bit, but she's not in surgery anymore. Right, let me just go up here a minute. This is crackhead's den around. This is actually a school. This is a Catholic school, which is literally right next to me. This is St John's Catholic School. You've got Arden on that side, and then you've got the one that I show you on that side. So there's actually 3 schools literally within a stone throw of me. So the one that you see on the hill, which is at the bottom, and then literally this is St Joseph's. St John's, which is a primary school. And then this is obviously state-run playground for over 7s. And then Arkington is just literally, it's a new build school that was done. I'm just going to go under the lights. I'm also going to talk slightly about the lady in the tent. Right, let me come and sit under this light for a minute. Oh, I might get run over by a scooter if I sit here, so let me head down. God, my stomach's aching and hurting. So basically what I was saying is, when it comes to birthdays for me, I don't do birthdays. I haven't done birthday parties since I was prior to 11. Up until I was 11, I was one of them typical kids that my parents sent out invites to everybody in the class, cousins, things like that, and just opened the community hall. My stepmum, my first stepmum, would always make a cake from scratch. It was always from scratch. I'm just going to go and sit up on the bench, which is just across from a tent where one of the mums that spoke at SOS and her daughter spoke about experience. So their story is already public. But because her mum is sleeping up here and she has to walk with her children past school and sit with her mum, which she does do, I don't really want to discuss it because it's hard enough for people to have to deal with parents that are living on the streets that still visit their families. So anyway, I've only got one stopper, so just 2 seconds. Oh, Eleanor's obviously meant to be with me because there's a stick sat there right for there. So anyway, the end of 30, so not 30, end of 40, 40, 44, 43 years. And it's really fucking difficult because every time I've planned to do something for my birthday, some cunt online, since I've been online, has caused some issues. And I've posted up a list that Amber's been putting together of all the things that have happened whenever I've stepped outside the said box. And that's just from being here. That's not even prior to here. And that's not even prior from there. And that's not even prior there. Or that chapter there, or that chapter there. There's 44 years of me being born here to my mother Sian, who's one of my trolls, was called Sharon at the time, and I was called Kellie with a Y, Hill, because that was my mum's name and she wasn't married to my dad. I don't know the ins and outs up until the age of 3. All I know is my auntie claims that I was a very floppy baby, and obviously my mum has said that her mum didn't really support her as a mum. All I know is they got married 2 days before my 3rd birthday. And my 3rd birthday was about my mum and dad's wedding and birthday and all of that sort of stuff. And everything was a celebration from the age of 3. I have photographs that I have seen of that age that I have from my timeline. Obviously, as you know from there, my mum went on national TV and said that that only lasted 6 months, and she made claims that my dad was violent to her. I have never, ever, ever known my dad to be violent. My dad is a very restrained and controlled martial arts, and my mum went on national telly talking about my dad showing signs of violence and how my nan had raised me and many other things. It was a program called Moral Dilemmas, and that was off the back of an article that she did in The Sun called Gym Slip Mums, talking about me, which caused a dry bomb run on my car because I was married to the army living in Northern Ireland, where my mum went in The Sun, naming me as living in Northern Ireland as married in the army. Who does something so fucking stupid? I rang my mum and told her that she was inconsiderate and she shouldn't be talking in the media, and I asked her to stop. Even when Moral Dilemmas contacted me, I said, why are you doing a program about a successful teenage mum when my mum didn't even raise me and I live with my dad, and then put myself in foster care after only being with her for a few years, when actually it's my mum that shows signs of violence and aggression and had been taking pills for depression or whatever else she had been taking them for. I went to move down here with Aaron, Faith, Liam and Daniel, and gave up my property in a private rental where I was secure with all my rent paid, my life sorted. I had graduated from university. I had got through a DV relationship, had 2 children, as you know, which was Aaron and Faith. Me and my two other boys, Liam and Daniel, were healing and settling from the trauma that we had been through for a 2-year on and off period. We had a home. It was my family, my mum and my dad, that persisted that they couldn't help me with my 2 younger children unless I moved down south. This was after I'd been left and abandoned, hemorrhaged, having a transfusion, and nobody understanding that I was a high-risk pregnancy. Not a high-risk mother. I'm actually a wonderful mother and a wonderful person. I just don't tolerate bullshit, and I have very firm boundaries, and I'm different to what the court said, very strong sexual boundaries too. However, my Uncle John was right about one thing. So when my mum talks about my family, she's talking about herself. There is no other family member that have any issues with it other than my mum. It has only ever been my mum that has any issues with anything that I've ever done. Even when I decided to go to university, she wanted to buy me out of that, telling me I would never ever succeed. There isn't much my mum hasn't done to cause issues in my life, whether it be relationships, whether it be university, whether it have been school, whether it have been within her own relationships. And she's very, very, very good at trying to make her daughter always the problem. I've seen this with Belinda McKenzie, who likes to tell everybody that her daughter's got mental health. I've noticed that these mothers like to say that their children have mental health when they want to cover up something that they don't want people knowing about their own rotten, sodding parenting. I've never been parenting. I wasn't born to parents. I might have been loved like a dodo doll, and I might have been given 2 double lives, but I was never, ever, ever given the identity of myself. I was only ever given what my parents would offer me within the space and time of what they were willing to do around their jobs, their careers. And actually, other than taking me to a few places that I asked to go and do, wasn't really interested in, nothing to do with me. The only ever things that I ever did were things that I went and fucked off and did by myself. Things that I fucked off with older people to go ice skating, things that I fucked off with older people to go skating, fucked off on my bikes, you know, fucked off in the back of my mum's nan's thing to be able to go and hang about with my mates down at my nan's. You know, so was I a problem child? I didn't take drugs. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't doing anything really bad. I was just somebody who had a body that did things that my body ached. I'd wake up aching. I'd get pissed off at netball because my fingers would sprain, my ankles would sprain. This is during PE, all the way through. When I was at my worst at 15, my mum had already been diagnosed with what she said was hyper EDS within her feet. She never once, ever brought her daughter in, who had been constantly whinging about her knees, her ankles, her legs, her neck, everything. My mum has always done the turtle. Yeah, while I was growing up, my mum always showed me her doing the turtle. She used to do it as one of her stunts to me as a kid, right? So I've always known that my mum's hands are like this too. My nan's bow that way. I've always had a fear of having hands like my nan's. Even says that in my school records. Kellie's got a fear of having hands like her nan's, and her hands hurt. My nan was diagnosed with arthritis. My mum was diagnosed with EDS in her feet. You don't get EDS with your feet. That's what unqualified people have done, like they've done with Elijah and Shiloh. So anyway, I know full well that nobody's whisking me off to have an upright MRI scan tomorrow and finally sit down with a specialist who's going to go, yes, Kelly, you've got cranial instability and this is what comes with it. Have you got any titinus in your ears as well, Kelly? How are you coping with sounds? I also know you got diagnosed with Asperger's. How are you coping with oversensory? How are you coping with the fact that you're living in a fucking city? How are you coping with the fact that you live in a small house with a TV on, laptop on, phone on? So anyway, you get to see here, because I'm not willing to show you here, because this space around here is as far as I will go from my public house after I've moved again. Nobody will know where I am unless you've got my mobile number. Unless you've got my mobile number, you're not a personal friend. Some people may have my house number, that will be the system, and then other people may have a work number, that will be for people at work. There will be a cut-off period, there will be out of hours and in hours time. I will decide them. I will decide what my hourly rate is and conducive with my qualifications and CV when I get the time to sit down and actually finally fucking finish it. I will sit down and decide whether I'm going to continue with the house for home properties for foster care leavers, and I will decide when it is I choose to leave. I will decide when I choose to hand over my garage. I will decide if I ever decided I was ever going to put my kids in foster care, which isn't something that I would ever fucking do. So stay the fuck away from me. It's not an option. The BBC have done an absolute wonderful job today. On the first programme, they completely admitted that they have been hasting the removal of children and haven't been supporting parents. In the second programme, a mother to a very famous child admits that the reason that she never got help with anything, which actually isn't what they actually say it is, if you actually bother to get to know the mother's talents, which nobody has done to do, because none of you are coach, none of you are psychologists, none of you are psychotherapists, the judges and the social workers aren't, police aren't. You're just people that have gone through an educational framework who didn't actually do anything that you wanted to grow up to be, that you took the jobs that were convenient for you to be able to pay the bills once you'd probably knocked somebody up and had to become a responsible father who's got to pay for the bills. Or maybe you had to get married and do all the status quo of buying buying a house, settling down, getting stuck in a job, mortgage for 25 years. Oops, comes a child. Oops, comes another one. Not many people have ever planned it this way. Not many people sat down at the age of 4 and said, by the age of 21, I would like a trust fund in place to be able to buy a house and be able to afford my children and put my children through university and buy their houses. It takes for parents to teach this stuff, but unfortunately most parents don't learn this stuff, because within the education department you don't learn how to be self-employed and run a business. The education department is there not for that reason, but to create a state slavery department for the Queen Bee, who's now heading into 70 years of her reign of this state and can't even make it to her own parties because she's too old and she's too frail. And if Kellie Cottam, just as the police car goes past us aside, if Kellie Cottam stood up and stood in front of her and went boo, she would probably go frail. If I even played the first parts of Exposure Don't Take My Child to her, she probably wouldn't be able to get past the first 3 minutes. If I actually managed to have recordings of over nearly 3,000 people with that same very sound, nobody would be able to get through every video and every live. I don't, but I could have. I'm sure between the lot of us, and we all got our recordings together and put them together to show you a bit more further than Exposure Don't Take My Child. I'm sure people have got videos all over the place. Traffic, fucking shit job. Fucking nutballs, mate. Raging fucking loonly. Her daughter was taken on the very same day. Unfortunately caught up without bringing any fucking balance to it. The BBC brought a lot of balance to it today, but still not enough. Now, anyway, another reporter taken away from me because of the dramas around me. So, let's just say, for my crossover, which is in half an hour, let's hope that everything that has been done, the website bollocks, the FEA being taken away from all the forced adoption people, there's a whole network of over 3,000 people sitting on FEA wondering why they can't buy their t-shirts, wondering why they can't get their campaign stuff, wondering why they can't put their case over on the stories, wondering why the email's not working, wondering why we're having to run off other stuff, wondering why our brands are being taken and other people are making money in our name and I'm getting trolled. I've been trolled since the very day that I created Walk for Justice. Sid was fuck all to do with Walk for Justice. No, I won't be at his fucking funeral. No, I won't be around his cunting family. No, I won't be around any of the wanking fucking shitty, wankery whore, wankery fucking shitbag of fucking family cunts. No, I won't put myself in that situation. Will I be abseiling? I don't fucking know now, but I would rather do something that Sid would have liked to have done if he had actually been a decent fucking man who'd actually done something with his life, rather than having to pay for his own guilt around his own children and daughters. So at the end of the day, Muppets, yeah, I'm not willing to stand there and say what lovely fucking people are when they're dead, when you can't be there when they're alive. His family treated me like a fucking cunt when he was inside. Everybody else treated me like a cunt. Yes, I spent some time with Sid. He was all right, but to be honest, I could have done a lot better my fucking self without all the fucking dramas and sorted my own case out and stayed at home with my own children without my fucking mother being a fucking idiot. I could have been over in France snowboarding with my children, having a really fucking nice time and coming back with a decent amount of money for a decent private rental. But people get involved in business that they know fuck all about. They don't know you as an individual. They're nothing more than fucking gossip mongering fucking cunts. Social housing, get no fucking peace, no fucking rest to ever get to the point to sort themselves out, because they're dealing with the inconvenience of poxy fucking people and so-called having to go to support groups, sitting around talking about their fucking problems. Now, at the end of the day, we don't want 35 agents of the fucking state knowing our business over a fucking garage. I ain't interested whether the people in Portsmouth know my fucking name. My name, Kellie, is nothing more than Kellie. I was born Kellie. It is Kellie on my dad's tattoo on his fucking arm. It was my mum that decided to change her name and change my name when I was 13. Lucky she didn't change my sex, wasn't it? Lucky when I was sent over to Germany and named as Jamie Lee. Nobody changed me into a fucking boy and sent me down a transgender fucking thing. And I ain't no fucking lemon or a lesbian. At the end of the day, I'm a woman who wants nothing more than a husband that I can make goddamn memories with while our children are with us. And when our children grow up and go and get their own fucking lives, we still have something in fucking common. That's called sunrise, sunset, and making fucking memories in the middle. Do I fucking swear too much? Too fucking right. I am fuming, I am livid, and I ain't carrying it into my 44th year. I won't be bullied by people, I won't be harassed by people, and I won't be dealing with people's ignorance, lack of education, lack of fucking knowledge projecting on me. I came down to these levels to fucking help you people. I couldn't give a flying fuck now if most of the fucking homeless tents got fucking burnt. I couldn't give a shit if most of the fucking houses got fucking raided. And I couldn't give a flying fuck if most of the thieves had their fucking fingers cut off. I don't think you white supremacy people understand how privileged you are in a Western society and Western culture to be able to sit out on your streets at this time of night, to be able to leave your garage out that people won't actually really steal from you. And actually it's much safer than you think. But we've got the poxy Daily Mail causing drama after drama, lie after bloody lie. I know how they do it. They've done it to me personally. I watch it. I get the Independent come in. I get the Sun in. I watch it all on my feeds. I see the different headlines. I watch the different wordings. Could, should, maybe. I watch the way they fear people. I watch the way they did it back in 2010. Even to me, a mother with 4 kids, knowing that they were only helped with 2, knowing that I was struggling to find some form of position in this world where I would be accepted for my limitations and my strengths, knowing the challenges that I face with the condition that I have, working my timetable and schedule around my health management plan. No, it doesn't make me grandeur. No, it doesn't make me a narcissist. And no, it doesn't make me think I'm fucking entitled. I'm the one that lives with it. I'm the one that fucking battles it. I'm the one that knows the pain, the experience. When you're a mother pushing a fucking baby out your legs, you please ask a midwife who's never had a child to tell you when you want the gas and air. You tell a social worker who's only just come out of fucking education how to deal with a child with 2-year-old problem child when they're writing paperwork that they've got to have within 14 days when your matter was over and resolved the moment you had the conversation with her. You were just airing some examples to her that she's now writing down on a threshold fucking document that she wouldn't even have a clue. That's nothing more than a cut and paste. The 2 people in front of me today, 2 main managers of this area that didn't even come to actually see me, make a phone call or even ring me back, decided to come and have a walk. And after that conversation, they did send the police around to assess the situation. Nobody's taking me garage tomorrow. And like I said, when someone says I want to rape you, I ain't laying down and saying I've got 2 people there, but let's carry on. I ain't saying, go on, honey, would you like me to take my clothes off for you as well and open me fucking legs just to make it a little bit easier for you? I'm going to be turning around to the cunt and saying, go on then, love, I've got AIDS. Watch him run a fucking mile. Now, anyway, I've had enough. And I turned 44. I don't give a shit about the last 43 years, other than the fact that all I leave in my legacy is I've got a 26-year-old lad who really needs his fucking mum, mate. He needs his nan to stop being a fucking cunt and a drama who's never fucking bothered with him. Bothered with him what? On the first day of fucking hospital, when being told he had a cleft, brought a load of things, but the moment I said that I was going and getting married and going up north, she couldn't be fucking arsed, mate. Came over on a flight on my 21st birthday, took me out for a bit, and then fucked off into the fucking papers talking shit about my low sense of worth and never feeling loved. Touche fucking mother, mate. Touche. Don't like it, do ya? Now, can we leave it alone? Can you stop telling people that I don't have hypermobility EDS? Can you stop telling people I've never played netball? Can you stop telling people that I was never sexually abused or raped? Can you stop telling people that you were a perfect fucking mother that raised me? Can you stop worrying? And actually, please do. Carry on telling people that you've got 2 daughters, Francesca and Helena, and don't ever speak my fucking name again. Seriously. And stay the fuck away from me and my children. And I will see you in court because I've got to have all this paperwork edited, right? And you can stop manipulating between me dad and me stepmother as well. My dad left you for a fucking reason, because you're a raving fucking nutball. You used to punch yourself in the fucking face and call your mother in, mate, and blame me father. Now, did you think any of this was in my book? No, mother. When I went out in the papers with to look in the mirror and take the masks off, it was fuck all to do with my family. It had nothing to do with my mother. It had nothing to do with my sister. It was about the information from the United fucking Nations, mate. And you stepped into a path that you had no fucking idea about. Lucky I have the paperwork from all that meeting back then, don't I? Sorry your daughter has a brain. Sorry she's highly intelligent, and sorry you didn't actually raise her and she actually raised herself. I have fucking strong arms, mate, because I climbed out the fucking abortion bucket. Now, if my parents want to sit down and say that they have raised their daughter, one, I walked myself down to the fucking bus stop myself from the age of fucking 4. While my stepmother went straight to work as a carer and my dad went to work as a builder. It wasn't until the age of 11 that my dad actually had time to pick me up or drop me off in his van. But actually, I got a bus. I walked down from one street, and I can even map it, down Lynn Crescent Road, from 7 Lynn Crescent all the way down to the bottom of Lynn Crescent. I got on a fucking bus. There was a bus escort. I went to school. I come back on the fucking bus. I walked in the door. I got changed. I fucked off out. I came in. I ate my tea by my fucking self. My dad went out to do his martial arts. I went to a martial art club. I went to fucking bed at 7:30. I got up again. I walked myself to the fucking bus stop. I went to school. On a Friday at 7:30, I would stand there, get picked up by my mum, who would say, what do you want to do? I would have an asti spumanti boozy freaking thing where my mum would let me drink asti spumanti, drink shit, watch video films, and go to clown school, have a guitar lesson, work at the market with her and get up really early, watch her get beaten up by a fella, watch her stay at one woman's house, watch her get married to another, watch her after then. And actually she come and sat down and said to me whether I wanted to actually go and move in with Trevor. This was pretty much after she went out on a date night on the 11th of September. The 11th of September, the day I moved in with her, and the 11th of September, the day that she decided to go out on a date night and punch me and knock me over my nan's rocking chair and called me a selfish cow, yeah? So at the end of the day, mother, my mum, my book had fuck all to do with you or my past. It had all to do with why I studied psychology, what it was I was looking into, why I went into coaching, why I understood property, why I went into quantum physics, why I understand science. It was my mother that first ever actually got me interested in the black hole, taking me to Alton Towers in the very first place for my birthday and taking me on the black hole, which actually got me fascinated by the stars in the fucking first place. Now, at the end of the day, I have always respected my mother. I have always admired my mother's can't-do attitude. Can-do attitude, no such word as can't. I have always admired my mother's trying. I have always admired her, but my mother's going to be sitting when she is very old in a retirement home, finding out that her pension and having no property gets her absolutely no fucking where, that she absolutely owns nothing, that her house is rented, that she's pretty much stolen from her other daughter's insurance money from her burns, and she stole her money off of me, that I went every fucking week from a very young age, probably the age of 3, putting £1 into the post office and £1 into my NatWest account and making sure that I got the fuck out of that fucking life. The quicker the sooner the better. So anyway, I got 20 minutes until I cross over into the 17th of May, the so-called day that I came into this fucking planet, here in this fucking zone between St. Mary's that sat over that side of me, and my spirit soared into this planet called planet fucking Earth, into Portsmouth, bang spang, here she is, 43 fucking years sitting on a bench in Portsmouth. And you know what? No fucker's going to be getting my scan for me as a nice little treat for my birthday. They don't give a shit about me any other fucking year. They don't give a shit about me for Christmas. They don't give a shit about me for my fucking birthday. And no fucking wanker's given a shit about me since Aaron and Faith were taken. No fucking shit. Nobody gives a shit that I have to manage pain management the way that I fucking manage it. Going and picking up dimps every now and fucking then. And people leave me to it. Or they would like me to go and sit down at the fucking doctor's who's going to put me on tramadol, morphine, and fucking leave me again. What, it's EDS Awareness Month, so fucking people can run around paying doctors to travel around the fucking world with a nice little team where lesbians who haven't even pushed a fucking baby out their fucking womb and fat fucking cunts can think that I'm going to be running around dancing, performing them like a monkey. Really? I'm going to raise you people fucking money right now? Well, what a shame. I was actually raising the funds and and things for the upright MRI for St Mary's fucking hospital. All arranged, all emails proven, all arrangements with Spinnakatarl all proven. But all you've done is piss me about, fucked me about, waste me fucking time. So for my 44th birthday, I'm going to put a price on me. From start to finish on what I can do. People say they won't buy my services. I've ran fucking Radio 1 big weekend and fucking big fucking events with big fucking people. Are you stupid, mate? I'm more talented than your middle finger. Really? I got more gifts. All right, I can't speak as many languages that I would like, but I can tell you bonjour. I can make an effort. I can sit there, chai jen. I can make a fucking effort. Ça va, oui, ça va, merci. I can make a fucking effort. Ni hao. I can make a fucking effort. So anyway, sitting up there in a tent is a mother who's come from another place, who's had a kid's taken, who's come for fucking Portsmouth, who's been raped by a load of fucking soldiers here, who's been passed around and pillared from every fucking hostel by Portsmouth City Council, who's been left for fucking rot, who's now up there with an alcoholic, who's going to end up in a fucking dodgy life, who's got a daughter here that she needs to get her shit together for, and children that she's no longer allowed to see. And actually, the BBC, mate, let's hope you're going to cut through social, and let's hope we're going to see some differences, and let's hope rather than this family sitting up here in this tent, and I am actually going to come up closer and see how it goes, because I'm crossing over into my birthday. My birthday ain't about me, is it? It's about you lot, people, and then you give me the fucking shit. Even my birthday to go to Alton Towers wasn't about me. It was to give Elijah and Shiloh an under fives world in CBBS fucking land and a break from all you fucking cunts and everything that you put me through. So let's go and show you what happens to mothers and fathers that have their kids taken, eh? Let's go and show you what this state does to people, eh? Shall I show you? Alright, don't come out and don't show your face. What? I'm showing the state of our country right now, and I'm on a live with that, so don't show your face. Where's Mrs? It's me, it's Kelly. Yeah. But I'm on a live, so don't speak.
Kelly.
You alright, love?
No, so you have to fucking leave.
Yeah, I'm recording it, so don't speak unless you don't want your story, because obviously you're here. Yeah, you can keep your story to yourself, or you can come out and talk if you want. It's my birthday in 5 minutes. I'm 44 in 5 minutes.
Happy birthday in 5, so.
Yeah? And I'm not having my garage taken either. And the council, the BBC, have fucking outed it all today. The shitness of social, the fucking everything. They fucking outed it. It's taken for a celebrity to do it, mate. Talking about his mum. Talking about his mum with mental health issues. And do you know what she said why she didn't get help? Because she knew they'd take her son off her. She knew.
I was sat at the thundering lightning last night.
Oh, I was worried about you last night. I was so worried about you guys last night. I thought you were moving. You said you were shifting over there, so... But you're still here. Anyway, I was born here, 44 freaking... I've done nothing but swear on me live. Effing. That's all me 43 years out. 44 tomorrow. How much are you charging me for every time I say fat? Yeah, too right. Where's my skates? Yeah, I didn't bring my dog out because I thought if I did come up here and I had my dog with me, your and my dog might not quite mix. I do believe you met the children's father earlier on.
Yeah.
Yeah. He came in fucking ranting, mate. I said, excuse me, don't rant at me about people. Get back out there. If you can't say it to their faces, don't come in here ranting about it. He went, what's he doing spitting around me? I went, go deal with it with them. Don't deal with it with me. So it was true then.
Weren't me.
No,
Was it?
him.
It wasn't him.
No, it's my pal Kane.
It was Kane. Oh, someone. Oh, right, someone else was it?
Yeah, Mancurian. He's not friendly as the chaps.
Oh, so they actually kicked off with each other, did they? Oh, they did kick off, did they? Oh shit. Oh, no wonder he came in so mad then. At least I stood my boundary, sent him to his room, and he had to come out and say sorry. Well, anyway, wow, Portsmouth City Council's had its freaking arse kicked. It's exposure taken to the child. Every person that works... Do you know how many people work for the council? About 33 people. That's about how many people are in that office, really, properly. The rest of it's all volunteers, charities, the lot. Actual council workers, it's about 33 people. Yeah, but they're just employees of that thing. Separate employees. Another corporate company. So, anyway, I'm glad you're all right after that fire, though. Little bastards. It was the ones on the electric bikes.
Yeah, they burnt my fucking cane tonight, right? He's fucking kicked off with your man. He's fucking, the burnt his tent down on the fucking beachfront and everything. Same little brats.
Wow.
That's what was over the fucking kids. I don't know if it was your baby or what.
No, I was the one that got the fire engine in the end because I'd come skating back and the bin was on. Well, actually, I come skating back, went that way, and then the lads all zoomed past me on the bike, and then all of a sudden I decided to come back and saw the bin was on fire, and then the other kids were all throwing frames up here from it, and that's it. I'd had enough then. I was like, whoa, there's a tent up there.
On the beach and everything. There's a big fucking 4x4 fucking square patch of burnt his fucking home down, and that's little cunts.
Kids burnt it down, or police did.
Spiteful little fuckers.
Kids burnt them down.
It's his fucking home.
Wow.
He says you walk at the beach, he says you'll see it just by the rock gardens.
Right, anyway, let me turn this off and have a chat with you quick. See you later. Happy birthday to fucking me. Yeah.